This Week in Disney for April 11th to April 17th.
There you go.
Yeah.
2 ones and ending on a 7.
Yeah,
Love
definitely.
It.
And not almost Easter.
Right there, hopping.
Actually, Easter is April 17th.
There you go.
Which is, we have so much going on.
Oh my goodness, yes. My
family
parents
in
are in town this week.
Yep, and then we're going out of town, so.
Right after.
Just so many things.
Excursions and incoming.
For sure. But it's a good time of year. How are you guys doing with your springtime fun? Maybe vacations or spring break, or maybe you just had that already. But we'd love to hear about it in the comments, of course. But to start off this week, our big topic for the week is a movie that goes all the way back to 1996. Disney's claymation and live action movie James and the Giant Peach is released.
Right. Which really, I mean, that's Tim Burton's James and the Giant Peach, correct?
Well, no.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how much Tim Burton was involved. It's claymation. Henry Selick, who, you know, he directed, but yes, it was produced by Tim Burton, of course, but Henry Selick, he produced a lot of the movies that Tim Burton worked on. So, yeah.
I mean, this film, from like an emotional standpoint, for us, for me, this is like our first family movie as parents.
Yeah.
I mean, so much so. And like watching it and watching little James, because we just had our first, and our son, you know, there's this moment at the beginning where they're laying on the beach and they're singing like, "We're so glad you came here where you are, from so very, very, very far." And I mean, it filled our hearts with joy. Like, it's the kind of parents we wanted to be.
I think we really enjoyed the music, but I think so. It was really, really sweet. Unfortunately, the parents aren't alive in the film, so
very quickly.
That makes it really hard and sad.
Quickly.
Like so many films, unfortunately.
And also,
it's not right.
We're fans of French and Saunders, and French and Saunders are in this.
Right. So that was really fun because we used to enjoy those shows. And so to see them in a big old Disney film was really fun. Yeah. But this was definitely a different film. So, like I said, it was a musical fantasy directed by Henry Selick, produced by Tim Burton. So it definitely has all the feelings of all the other movies that they worked on, like Nightmare Before Christmas, Coraline, you know them all.
Oh, yes.
And Nightmare Before Christmas, there is actually the Jack character is in James and the Giant Peach. He's the pirate fighting. And the
which I always kind of was a little unnerved by, but it's all in that universe.
You're unnerved by it?
Yeah, just because of Jack. So,
okay.
But it's a skeleton. It's a skeleton.
So, and I don't think I had mentioned this before, but this movie was released on April 12th. So that's awesome. The day to celebrate for sure, right away on Tuesday. But if you guys haven't seen it, you should go watch it. This is a good movie
love the Pumpkin King, you have to see the Pirate King.
And a lot of people might not realize this is a Disney film, you know, just because people don't seem to talk about it. It didn't do well in the box office. There's no semblance of this in the parks. There's nothing really celebrating this film. We really enjoyed it. I don't know how many people enjoy it as much as we do.
All the way to the end when they arrive in New York and they're like, everybody's investigating the Peach and they pop out and are the villains brought to justice? You'll have to see.
I feel like for us, like the time period of when we saw it, artistically, you know, seeing like live action and stop motion animation all like combined together, you know, they did that for budgeting reasons. For us, we thought it was really cool and interesting. I think it came together really well. Like I said, we like the music for it.
I think it's a shame that we haven't yet mentioned that it's Roald Dahl.
Right, I was just about to get into that. So it's based off of a novel by Roald Dahl. So of course you'll know the other books that he did as well, which are
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, The Great Glass Elevator.
And
so
many more.
BFG.
Yes, BFG as well. So, what I was going to say though is that he, didn't want this made into a film. Like, he didn't give the rights to this before he died. But his wife did give the rights to it. And after she saw the film, she said that she thought he would have really loved it. And thought it was well done. So, I mean, maybe it didn't do so well, but that kind of
and
compliment is
primary
wonderful.
Highlight on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
For sure. People need to discover it.
I think so. It's a beautiful film. I think some children would think it's scary though.
Perhaps.
I think it's
Maybe that's the problem. Yeah.
I think that was one of those types of movies.
It's the same thing with Lone Ranger.
Yeah. Roald Dahl also did like Matilda, Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Matilda. That's one of the best films of all time.
Well, Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh my goodness.
I love that movie.
Miles loves that film.
Yeah, so some really good books
Roald Dahl
check out.
so much to.
He was kind of a controversial author at his time though.
Knew it was gonna be.
It's interesting because
Knew it was gonna be.
All these films are a little bit artistically done. Sometimes they seem dark. Well, especially if you think of all the Charlie and Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp. I mean, that one's definitely more dark. So I mean,
I don't know.
it's interesting. People felt like they always made his villains were.
In some ways, the illustrations in his book can be even darker. He's like this pen and ink kind of like circle, like around eyes, and very loose and scratchy and elongated. So I think
they
Burton's realization is probably better than Willy Wonka. But yes. Dark, even though it's hard for me to form those words.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Some people really don't like this style of film at all.
Yeah.
And some people just love it.
Yeah.
So it's hard because
this is a musical too.
It is
James
a
and
musical.
the Giant Peach, which lightens all of that and.
Yeah.
I mean, triumphant moments. It's awesome.
Yeah, and the peach. So what's cool about it is the live action happens at the beginning of the film, and then once James goes into the peach, everything changes, including the color palette, because it's like darker grays and greens and stuff in the world, and then once they go into the peach, it brightens up. It's more magical, and so it just, I think that's
there is
really
no doubt that the
cool
magic of the peach
through artistic device.
Yeah. There's no doubt that the magic of the peach also informs the beach in the beginning, though. There is a magical piece that is taken from James.
Sure, but the color palette really does change. 100% when they get through there. Yeah. And then, of course, after they, get to New York and they get out, then it goes back to, the real world, or that particular, not our real world. Our real world is
like 1920s,
right.
But a little more vivid, higher saturation.
Sure. Yeah. So, like I said, this film did not do as well as maybe as they had hoped, for sure. But I think that it's done well with people because on Rotten Tomatoes it has a 91%.
Yeah.
So with the fans of it, or people who, I think they gave it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, fair enough.
7.5, or 10, right. 7 out of 10. But the fans, or 7.5 out of 10. That's what I was saying. But the fans, 91%. So, maybe this is a cult classic kind of thing to people. Have you guys seen this film?
It's peachy.
Go watch it. And if you haven't, watch it and then tell us in the comments what you think. Otherwise, if you're big fans, we'd love to hear more about it. I really couldn't find all the stories that I usually can find about, their work on the stop animation. I think they, a lot of that came from
previous
work, and particularly these same people worked on Nightmare Before Christmas, and so it's just
it's almost a continuation of a trilogy of films, kind of.
Yeah, and I mean it definitely improves. I mean, once you get to Coraline, it's definitely a more refined technique.
Yeah,
I just don't know if these films do well enough
Right.
For them to keep
and they
doing
kind of
that.
have passed that torch to Aardman with like Wallace and Gromit and all of that and Chicken Run, and allowed that studio to really thrive rather than compete. So.
Well, who knows if that's their intention. I wouldn't be that presumptuous to say.
I often have a kind perspective.
Yeah, but I think they would do it if it made a lot of money for them, probably. But
fair enough.
We would just like them to do it because we enjoy these films. But tell us what you think, and we'll move on to the rest of this week. So, on April 11th in 2006, Winnie the Pooh celebrates his 80th birthday, and they give him a star. It's actually the 2038th star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
There you go.
So, I thought this was really cool and interesting, because we had Minnie getting a star a couple years ago, and so I think it's interesting that Winnie the Pooh has a star as well. I'm sure many of you know that, but I just thought it was cool.
I did not, though.
You didn't know? So.
Not a very good thing.
It's so adorable.
Yeah. I wish I'd known it was coming up. I'm like literally looking at both of our classic Pooh and modern Pooh across the room, and I just want to be holding them up.
Well, what's cool is that as of that day, only Mickey, Donald, and Snow White had been given stars.
Okay.
So I think that's really important. I mean, Winnie the Pooh was a huge hit for the Disney company in many ways, and so it makes sense like why he would particularly, but why he would get for sure. Yeah.
Yes. Even genre crossing, like outside of Disney into like books and psychology and philosophy. I mean, Pooh is well loved. So.
Yes. He's adorable. And all the Winnie the Pooh characters. We love them. All right, and then moving on to April 12th, 1946, the Disney short Pluto's Kid Brother is released. So this is a fun one I thought you guys should check out if you don't remember or haven't seen it. Because I bet you didn't know Pluto had a kid brother. Maybe you knew.
I can actually see him in my mind, but I may be inventing the pictures.
It's so cute because Pluto, has his doghouse that always says Pluto, and then his kid brother is KB on it. So.
Okay, kid brother.
Kid brother.
Kid bro.
So I don't know I don't think they gave him a name.
Yeah, apparently not.
And we haven't really seen a lot of them since then, but it was a cool concept. Check this out.
We're probably lucky because then we'd see him everywhere because he would have officially been named.
Well, check it out. They get in a lot of antics together, and with a cat, of course. There's a cat situation, and then a bigger dog, and all these other things that happen. So check it out and tell us.
With two sons ourselves, I had our older son just like comment the other day after he had just spent like a few brotherly moments with his brother. He's like, I just had a nice brotherly moment, and so anxious to see, bro moment. Anxious to see how Pluto.
Yeah, you're gonna have to check it out. All right, then moving on away to 1995 in Florida. I don't like to always talk about changes or closings, but I thought this was interesting because it really didn't, it kind of gets brushed over when we talk about 1971 and all the openings, but back in 1971, the Polynesians' Papeete Bay Verandah had been opened. That was Ohana. And so in 1995, Ohana opened. Okay. And so the Papeete Bay Verandah restaurant was interesting. It was a buffet style restaurant. They had breakfast buffet, and they also had lunch, and then they had like a review at night.
Wonderful. I
believe. I didn't get to experience this, but if you
are
did,
the only buffets right now Chef Mickey's and the Crystal Palace? Are there any others?
There's more than that. There's the I'm gonna forget the name of the restaurant at the Beach Club. They opened that, and then there's
several.
Yeah.
Okay. It's hard sometimes to remember everything that's reopened.
Did you say the Crystal Palace?
I did.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, so anyway, I wasn't even thinking about it. But back then, this was a lunch and buffet and a breakfast. And then for many years, it was Minnie's Menahune buffet. Okay. I'm probably not saying that. Probably like a Polynesian term. There was a Polynesian review in the evening. And this was separate from the luau. The Verandah closed September of 1994. What's interesting to me is that Lilo and Stitch, that didn't come out till 2002, so it was called Ohana before that, and then they added Lilo and Stitch.
Wonderful. Yeah. I just thought that was so cool.
Yeah. I think it's really cool too.
They were using the word Ohana at Walt Disney World before they used it in Lilo and Stitch.
Yes, and so with the opening of this restaurant, I think they had the buffet over in that center area where now there's like
that would make a lot of sense.
It's actually the world's largest fire pit.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Or maybe even to the left of it and operated that fire pit as well. I don't know,
but that yeah. So just trying to figure. I saw some pictures and it looked like they had booths in there that they don't have now, and the seating's different. So
fun.
Yeah, really interesting. But yeah, we love Ohana.
We love the Poly. We really fell in love with the Poly 2 years ago.
But you know, we have not been to a dinner there.
True.
So we
Are you sure?
need to do that. No, we haven't.
Oh no.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that because they have those noodles. I know I've never had
and
those.
Lunches.
Yeah, we've mostly done breakfast. We've only done breakfast.
Really?
Yeah. It's just we've done breakfast really late. That's why you're thinking lunch.
Yeah.
Like almost 12.
And I think I'm just thinking of the cafe next door.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, and so then moving on to April 13th, 2015, the Boathouse opens. So I think this is a really, really good restaurant. If you're gonna be at Disney Springs, I would definitely eat here. You know, if you're trying to decide, of course there's other restaurants that are so good, but as far as like,
if you're having a hard time deciding, this is a safe bet. This
is the one to do for sure. I mean, if you love fish, I feel like this is one of the few restaurants that is as good as having like fish on the ocean. If you're gonna come down to Florida, normally you may save eating, you know, at seafood restaurants when you maybe go to the beach areas, but this one they do good.
In addition, they have like car boat launches on the side that launch onto the water. Right. And a very impressive like open concept like bar in there. I've never visited the bar, but they totally like well decorated with like masts and like you know, just awesome.
But it's the dream boats from the like 30s, 40s, and 50s. And then they have like really good rolls, don't they? Yeah.
I don't recall.
They have good.
I don't recall.
Yeah, they do. It's just a nice, classy, good seafood.
Yeah, the seating is nice. The view is nice.
Yeah, the view is beautiful. You could sit outside. A lot of people like to do that. I don't
We've not.
like to sit outside. Yeah. When it's like really hot, I'm like, let's sit inside.
Yeah.
We're eating right now, but it is nice at the right time of year, I think, to sit outside.
Great there.
But really fun, really
It really
good
felt like a happening place the day of reopening, too, of Disney Springs. Like, I don't know, there's so much activity around it. Is that where we ate, too?
We did. It was one of the few restaurants open at the time, but yeah.
They were, like, right in
It's a good one.
Reopening.
I would say between Paddlefish and Boathouse, I would definitely, food is much better than Paddlefish. Well, that's just my opinion.
What are you saying?
Paddlefish, you know, the boat one.
Yeah, I don't have an opinion on that. I think is good in both of them. But yeah. No, I feel you.
I think it's fine. I think it's better. I think it's definitely better.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
That's my
Go find out for yourself.
Yes. Okay. So we'll move on to April 14th, 1967. So last week we talked about a Disney Easter parade. This week, Disneyland's Easter parade takes place in the 1950s. Mouseketeer Annette Funicello
there you go.
As the new Grand Marshal. So this would have been a lot different than the parade we talked about last week, a more, you know, with characters and, you know, the Mouseketeers like and all that. But what was neat was they had the Dapper Dans with this. They were on a 4-seated bicycle.
There you go. Bring it out.
Fun?
Bring it back.
I think that's really cute.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, we don't know. This is at Disneyland, so
okay.
I don't know if they still do this.
That's so true.
You guys experience the Dapper Dans on this
4-seater.
Yeah, tell us about that.
We love to. Built for 4.
There you go. And then moving on to 1969 at the 40. I can't say it first. 40. first Academy Awards, Disney's animated Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day wins an Oscar. So going back to that star, I just wanted to bring this up because just so everyone can see that, you know, Winnie the Pooh getting a star makes sense. This wasn't the only time that, you know, the Pooh...
Right. Even Oscar agrees.
Characters in their movie were animated, were able to win awards or nominated for awards and stuff like that. So definitely cool. It was actually presented by Tony Curtis.
There you go, pretty cool.
Yeah, and Walt Disney holds the record number for Academy Award nominations during his lifetime with 59, and the number of awarded Oscars 26.
There you go, of course.
This evening wins his 26th and last. Granted posthumously, because he had, it was 1969, so he passed away. Yeah, so that's just sad, but it was a good evening.
But it was Pooh.
Yeah. So then we're going to move on to April 15th, 1938. Disney's Donald Duck cartoon, Donald's Nephews, is
oh my goodness,
so this is the first time you get to see Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and they are in full force, just as you'd expect them to be. I don't know. Yeah. But they are, goodness, they give their uncle a lot of trouble from the very start. They're cute though, and we love them. They're a lot of fun.
A smash hit.
But go check out this from the standpoint of a first. If you are a fan of all the duck cartoons.
All the way through DuckTales and the contemporary.
This is the one to watch to see the original.
We're in Epcot 2 days this week.
Yeah.
We need the DuckTales experience still to come.
Huey,
Dewey, and Louie around the world showcase. Let's get it on.
Definitely. I think it's so fun for kids to get to do. I think they need to bring it because it's just something for kids to do at Epcot. It's just notoriously, I just don't think it's as fun for little kids to go to Epcot. So having something like that makes the experience. I mean,
I loved it when I was 9. From the time I was 9.
I mean, little kids.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
But moving on to April 16th, 2001, Disney World's newest resort, Animal Kingdom Lodge, opens. Yes, so this is a 6-story resort designed by architect Peter Dominic. Yeah, it's a cool resort. Obviously, you have the Savannah reserves for, you know, Animal Kingdom Lodge and for Kidani Village, and you get to experience all those safari animals the whole time you're there, and just the whole architecture and how they did this is really beautiful.
I might mention in our last stay, like last month, that the feeding patterns felt to me to have changed or increased, and there was significantly more animals out and like throughout the day rather than just at select times of the day. So really worth returning if that's one of your favorite resorts.
And you know, who knows? Maybe it has to be a part of the time of day we were at the. We were actually at the resort more than at the parks.
It's just how it felt to me.
Yeah. So I mean, for that resort in particular, I just think you need to take a day or two if you're coming and staying and just enjoy it. Or, you know, make a dinner reservation at Sanaa and go walk around and enjoy it too. You can do that. That's a great way to enjoy the animals without having to wait in line at Animal Kingdom or whatnot. I mean, there's beautiful like chairs that you can sit on that overlook the reserve, and you can just watch the animals after you eat a nice big meal. And
it's so awesome to see that lodge like operating full.
Yes, and
full energy.
Also, what I love about this lodge, and I think the two that I like the best are, for this is the Wilderness, and this and Animal Kingdom. Well, John Boathouse is the tree at Christmas, and you really have to go take in these Christmas trees if you have a chance to. They are so gorgeous and so big, and the ornaments are just so neat and intricate on the tree. They're different, so check that out. And you know, we went in one time, my mom and I, and there was like a high school like orchestra singing, or not orchestra, like a choir singing in there. So you never know what you'll get.
And the Vero Beach tree is quite nice too at DVC down there. So Disney always hit
We
your
love
trees.
to check all the Christmas trees
Yeah.
out, and you don't have to stay to do that. It's so fun. But moving on to April 17th, the last day of the week, and this would be Easter for everybody, so hope you're having a nice day with your families or whatever
eggs, peeps. Too many eggs.
Hope you got some good
Hope
treats.
they peel well for
I
you.
hope you get treats in from me. I mean, you're kind of old for that, right?
No.
No?
He never
I mean, you
says
just had a birthday, so.
Okay.
No, just kidding. 2012, beginning today in Florida, Orange Bird returns to the Sunshine Tree Terrace. Signage and quirky drink cups in Adventureland at Magic Kingdom Park. So, if you don't know, Orange Bird was a character who was developed back in 1970. This was Walt Disney Productions, and they were partnering and entering negotiations with the Florida Citrus Commission for the FCC-sponsored Disney World attraction early in... This actually started in 1967.
Wow. Yes, of
So,
course. A celebrated return.
The formal underwriting was a tropical bird show. So anyway, the cost was $3 million. So this was for the Tiki Room.
Yes,
right?
of course.
The following year, WED Enterprises created Orange Bird character to serve as the SCC's original mascot in promotional campaigns, and the Orange Bird also appeared at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom. You know, for opening and for 10 years as an actual walk-around character that you could see, get pictures with, and give a big hug to.
Yeah.
So
my first Disney World souvenir gift was from my grandparents long before I went to Disney World. They came back from Disney World and gave me that little orange bird cup. I didn't know much about it, but I thought it was just amazing.
Yeah.
It made orange juice taste so much better.
yes. Yeah, and we're just gonna have to do a whole show about him sometime. But we love Orange
He'd be a
Bird.
great
He's
lead.
adorable. Yeah, for sure. Yep. But that is it for this week, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Happy Easter time, and we will see you guys next time.